the bomb. I appreciate them very much for being a part of the Foul Territory family. Let's talk about Tanner Scott. We had thought, Clint, that we needed to figure something out. Apparently, maybe there was an injury component to why he was not playing as well. Maybe he was on the way to the point where he felt that stinger, and now he is on the IL. So again, the thought that they were going to go after bullpen arms has even been exacerbated, if you will, with the injury to Tanner Scott. Jack Harris, give him a follow. Dodgers officially putting Scott on the IL with what they're calling elbow inflammation. That scares me. Anything elbow inflammation or forearm strain or anything like that makes me very nervous. And obviously that's why right-handed pitcher Alexis Diaz is back. I don't know, dude, this sucks. Like, I mean, how many freaking bullpen arms are we going to lose? I know that Blake Trinan seems to be on his way back, and that will be a massive, massive boost. But you can only expect Blake Trinan to throw a certain amount of bullpen innings. I mean, he's not a starter. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of other bullpen arms that are down. So who is this team going after? No, he's old now.
And he's older now. By the way, again, also to talk about this, it got was called a calf cramp for Ben Kasparius. Exit the game. Shouldn't be, hopefully, anything too major, but for what it's worth, Kasparius has been, as much as I loved him over the first couple of months, my dude has been doo-doo over the last month and change, coming on 2 months now, ever since they kind of shuffled him back and forth with saying, hey, you're going to go to the rotation, and then he didn't actually go to the rotation. He went to a bulk role and didn't really have an exact role, defined role.
You buy the calf cramp when he's grabbing a hamstring?
Maybe he didn't feel like bending down. Maybe he was lazy. Maybe he made it up because he had the bases loaded and had nothing going for him tonight. But yeah,
maybe. I mean, listen, I can deal with that. I can deal with that if he's like, I just don't have it tonight. Ow, my calf hurts. Yeah. Ow, my hamstring hurts.
Get me out of here for sure, which is what I had texted you around 8 o'clock. It's like, hey, they have a 1 o'clock game tomorrow if we want to not do this tonight, when the game looked like it was going 45 hours long. But yeah, getting back to the root of what you were saying there, the team is definitely going to have to be active at the trade deadline, and I'm now wondering if it needs to be 2 arms. Like, I don't know how you even pull off 2 bullpen arms. That's expensive. And there are a lot of teams.
Super expensive. And Andrew Friedman does not like to overpay on relief arms. I mean, that's something they didn't even want to have to get into this point. I don't think that they imagined that they were going to have so many bullpen arms down at this juncture. What's also interesting too is that they need relief help pretty bad. So then I'm thinking, okay, again, let's move Dustin May to the freaking bullpen. However, there seems to be a possibility that Dustin May have an inkling. And again, this is all speculation. Guys. I don't have any inside information. But listen to this thing, or this piece of sound from our friend Dave Essay, who is the host of Dodgers Talk on AM 570, about what he thinks potentially could happen to Dustin May.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw Dustin May after the game last night taking photos with his wife on the field. And, his name has come up in trade rumors, and that very well could have been the last time Dustin May pitched at Dodger Stadium wearing a Dodger uniform, because the trade deadline will be on July 31st. He's a free agent at the end of the year. The Dodgers are getting healthy pitching-wise. His name has been rumored to be out there as an available arm to help the Dodgers complete a trade. So I'm not sure if that was a coincidence or it wasn't lost on him that there was a possibility that could be the last time he took the mound at Dodger Stadium wearing that blue.
If it was the last time he had himself a heck of a ball game in relief of Shohei Ohtani, of course, Dave Essay speculating there, did not get any sort of inside information from Dustin May. But Riz, we've kind of talked about this when you're looking at the makeup of this roster and the 40-man roster, and particularly the pitching staff, and knowing some of the guys who are coming back. Blake Snell's probably got one more minor league rehab start. They already put D-May in a bulk game, in relief. If there is somebody to be moved for the sake of space and the sake of clearly not having a role, and maybe they've had a conversation about pitching in relief and he's like, I don't want to do that, Dustin May is somebody who could be kind of this year's James Paxton, this year's Ross Stripling, where he's traded away from a World Series contending team. And I say that understanding how they've looked over the last couple of weeks. But I would not be shocked. And if they could also throw in Michael Conforto, I will drive them both to the airport.
Wow.
Respectfully.
I don't know that they're going in the same car, but I would also be very surprised if Dustin May was saying, no, I don't want to do that. I think he would, if they asked him to go to the bullpen, I think that he would. But, and again, Dave was very honest too. He doesn't know if that's what was happening. I mean, we could totally be looking into it. I mean, if that is the last time he's in a Dodger uniform, he leaves with the W. He came in relief for Shohei Ohtani. He picked up the win in the game, and that was it. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know this. I do know that relief help is going to be incredibly pricey because every single team that's contending, and honestly, with the third wild card in each league, there's a lot of teams that are contending, right?
Yeah.
So any single team that's contending wants bullpen help, and you're going to have to overpay for it from the teams that are not contending. You're going to have to overpay for bullpen help, and that's exactly what they didn't want to do. Now, as far as money is concerned, do the Dodgers have it? Of course, but you're going to have to pay a very high price tag because everyone's going after the same arms. And it's not like there's a ton of arms sitting out there just like waiting to be picked up. So it's going to have to take a lot in terms of a trade to get the two arms that you're going to need in terms of the bullpen, because this is a team that's built for October, and this is a team that's only buying shit to win. Like, they're not like, we're not thinking about 2026. We're thinking about October of 2025.
Yeah. And that's how they should. This team, this front office loves to look ahead as well at 26, 27, 28, if there's even baseball in 28. But that's another whole conversation and a much sadder point in our lives. You have arms internally. I saw somebody say in the chat, like, is they really going to mention Bobby Miller to the bullpen again? But the reality is, he is somebody who can be moved to that bullpen and potentially help fix a hole. Same with Dustin May. Same with Emmett Sheehan down the road. You don't need 5 or 6 starters when you get to the postseason. So that could help the Dodgers a good bit, just having to go out and get one starter. But if it is, one bullpen arm, one reliever. But if it is just the one, this dude needs to be premium. It needs to be somebody that is at the top of the game, whether it be a Duran, a Class A.
Who is that though, right? Like, who? I mean, they're not. I don't
Felix
see
Bautista,
Duran. I don't
somebody.
Maybe that's who I see, because the Orioles will move him, right?
Yeah.
The Orioles will move Felix Bautista. I don't see the Guardians moving Class A. I don't see the Twins moving Johan Duran.
Hey,
but I mean, Felix
prospects move. They make things happen.
Sure. Yeah, I guess.
I would think it was just random chatter between a couple of people. Another one, Mark, bringing up in the chat here, or in our internal chat.
I would die for Mason Miller.
Of course, that's somebody Ken talked about on Fair yesterday morning. If the A's, I think this was Ken Rosenthal's quote, if the A's make Mason Miller available, the Dodgers are going to have a very significant interest in him, as they should, because he's somebody that's a better version of a Michael Kopech and is healthy, which Kopech is not at the moment.
It's so funny. Alex Renteria in our chat said, poor Alana, she